Hello crafters and welcome back to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. My name is Deepa from Designs by Dee, and today I am sharing this fun spotlight card using Altenew products, specifically the Build-A-Garden Flourished Flora, which came out in the last release. This set comes with the full stamp set. You've also got the coordinating stencils, and you also get a small blending brush, which is an amazing brush, I have to say. So the stamp set has like the large flourished flora image along with all of these beautiful sentiments. And then you've also got the coordinating stencils where there are 6 stencils total. And that will help you fill in all of the gorgeous pieces of that flora. Now, I am using some frame dies today. I have both of these shown here, but I'm actually just going to use the one on the left, and this one is from Spellbinders. I will link that down in the description below. I'm using the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe like the 9th or 10th frame here. I want one frame, one just a little bit bigger than the other. You can choose to go up or down in your size depending on how you want your design to be. And I'm just taking the larger frame and I'm putting it on a white cardstock panel. This panel is an A2 size panel. And then I've got a purple, like a light purple panel, and I'm using the darker frame on there. Now make sure you center that frame on the white and on the purple, just generally in the center is good enough. And that's because we want that frame, that double frame there in the center, but I don't want the purple to show on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my guillotine cutter and I'm going to cut about 1/4 of an inch off of all 4 sides of the purple frame so that the purple does not show through the white on the outside. So we only have it on the inside here. Now these frames, along with the negative piece for the white frame, is what we're going to be stamping on. So I'm going to go ahead and get that frame just positioned properly with the purple showing out evenly around the sides of the center frame, and then I'm just going to attach it with some washi. And don't attach it permanently. I'm attaching it with some low tack tape so I can remove it during my stamping process. I've now stuck the negative piece of that frame in, and I am positioning my stamp so that like just the top part of that flora is what we're kind of having hang off this card here. You'll notice that the way that this stamps, you could probably make 2 cards out of it. Now I have the smaller stamp wheel just because I got it before the 2.0 came out, but I do recommend if you don't have it and you're getting one, get the 2.0 because you can use these larger stamps much more easily. I had to position my card in the top right in order to do this. So I'm going ahead and I'm stamping this a few times to get like a nice crisp image, and that's because we have like that purple layer underneath. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove both of these pieces. So both the white outside frame and the inside frame. I did kind of just put this back in here because I accidentally removed my stamp from my plate and I shouldn't have, so I had to line it up again. But yeah, don't remove your stamp so you don't have to do this. And then all you have to do is stamp this out on the purple frame as well. That's why we positioned the purple frame in there so that it was already in the right position and I didn't have to kind of mess around with it to get it to stamp exactly in the right position as it should be to line up with that white frame. So now I've gone ahead and I've lined everything up here and I've attached the purple to the white, and that you can attach permanently now. It's good to go. Now I've taken that centerpiece and I've taken that out. I've got it on my sticky mat here, and I've got some Pink Fresh Studio inks and eucalyptus, sage, cherry blossom, peony, and then I've also got some sheer freesia and wisteria. So on the flowers, I'm adding some purple and I'm mixing like the purple to kind of fade into the pink. I'm using the lighter colors, so the sheer freesia and the peony on the first stencil. For the second stencil, I am going to use the same colors and I'm just going to build up the color, just darkening them. So I have 2 tones of each of these colors, and I'm just going to keep building that color and using more of a heavy hand to get a deeper color for each of the stencils. So I have labeled each of the stencils here for you on the screen so you can see which stencil I'm using at which time. And as I mentioned, there are 6 stencils. I'm not doing as much ink blending as I would be because I'm only doing the spotlight portion of the image. So it will take a little bit just to figure out what to line up where depending on what portion of the stamp you stamped. But I do recommend using the guide that comes on the packaging to kind of figure out what should go where. Now keep in mind on the third stencil, there are actually like 3 different sections. You'll notice there's a line in the stencil that shows you that, this portion is for a different part of the stencil, and they just do that in order to make these more affordable for you guys. And now I'm just going to continue through all the stencils. I'm adding the green on the leaves and the stems, and there's this like fun flourish that kind of comes up here, that fun tulipy looking bit that I'm doing right now. It actually you could do that in any color, but I decided to go ahead and use the purple and the pink with it. You could even make it green or maybe like a yellow, a more neutral tone, to be something else in this. So this flourish is very like imaginative and creative. You could use whatever colors you like. There's no right or wrong. Like this has to be green because that's the leaf, and that has to be, a bright color because it's the petal. It's totally up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and just add all of my layers of ink blending here. And then once I'm done, I'm actually going to take the lighter colors and I'm going to take the color on my brush, dab off a little bit, and then just kind of ink blend around the rest of the image to kind of give it more color so there's not really too much white on here. So it creates more of that spotlight when we put it together on our card. And the only tip I really have for this portion here, you'll notice that I kind of started with like the green at the bottom. I've got the pinks at the top left, and then the purples I'm going to do on the on the top left, and then the purple on the top right. But yeah, main tip, dab off any extra ink once you've inked up your brush so that you don't get like a splotch, and then start ink blending off the edge and then come onto the image so that, again, you avoid any splotchiness and you keep that nice, light, soft, wispy look. So this is how the piece looks in the end, and now we can move on to our next step, which is to go ahead and do some heat embossing for our sentiment. So I took one of the sentiments, "You Were Meant to Shine," and I've gone ahead and I've used my anti-static tool on some vellum. I'm using the Altenew rose gold embossing powder, and now I'm just going to heat this up. I did kind of stamp it twice to see which one turns out better, and I decided to use whichever one looked the best to me. So now I'm taking another sentiment and I want to have it curve around the top arch of this frame here. So all I did was I stuck it down, I picked it up with my plate, and now I'm just manually curving it with my fingers. Now this is the technique that works the best for me, but you could put down a piece of acetate and then kind of curve the sentiment along the acetate and then pick it up with the plate. Either way works. It just depends what your preference is. Once I've got it shaped in the way that I like, I'm going to heat emboss it. So I'll stamp it out on this after adding some anti-static powder. And then I'll add the same embossing powder, which is the Altenew Rose Gold. I'll get rid of any extra little flyaways with my paintbrush, and then I'll heat it all up to make sure that it looks nice and pretty and shiny. And I think that looks really cool. So now I'm going to move on, and I'm actually going to cut out the sentiment that we had heat embossed on the vellum earlier. This is going to go on the spotlight portion of our card. Now before I can add that, I want to go ahead and add this all to the card base. So I've got an A2 size side folding white card base. I am going to add some glue to that center panel, and I've already added some foam squares to the frame here. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of align this. I like to use liquid glue, that way I can kind of move things around before it all dries up, and that way I can get it in the right position. And then all I have to do is take off the backing on all of these foam squares on the frame, and I can attach the frame on top of this. Now the foam gives it a little bit of lift. Again, it makes that spotlight stand out. So now you can see all I have left to put on here is the sentiment in the center. Now it's on vellum, so I tried my best to get the glue on all of the kind of embossed bits, like the sentiment from behind. I did add a little dot on either side because there's so much going on the center of this. You're actually not going to see the glue anyway, so don't worry too much. Just don't put too much, just little dots. Then I'm going to jazz this up with some Pinkfresh Studio iridescent drops. These are really fun because they're clear, but they are shiny. Like they've got little sparkles in them and they shine all different colors. So it picks up the pinks and the purple that I have in the flower here and looks really pretty. I think there's even like some of them that pick up the green. It looks really nice in the end. So I'll put some of these around the frame, some in the center, and that will pretty much finish up this card for today. So all in all, I think this card turned out really pretty. I love the spotlight and I like the soft colors. I hope you guys like it too and are willing to try this technique out yourself. Besides the die cutting and a little bit of finicking with the stamping, it was really easy to do. Everything that I've used is linked down in the description below. Go ahead and pick it up in the store. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.